Black film culture in Canada is thriving. A network of festivals has branched its way into 6 major cities across the country. The newest one is in the capital.
Of course, there's Montreal International Black Film Festival, there's Toronto Black Film Festival, Ottawa Black Film Festival, Calgary, Vancouver International Black Film Festival, and Halifax Black Film Festival.
The Ottawa Black Film Festival opened its doors for the first time in 2021, with the goal of amplifying Black voices. Ottawa's second edition of the festival is taking place later in March. I spoke to festival representative Andrea Est to find out more.
So I'm the head coordinator of the Ottawa Black Film Festival, as well as 6 other festivals across Canada. I'm also the programming coordinator of the Black Market Industry Series, which are a series of panel discussions that we present during the festival. So industry events, panel discussions, networking. Remember, Montreal was the first festival we did besides our other festivals, because the foundation also has Haïti en Folie, which is a Haitian music festival. Mm-hmm. And we also have Fondu au Noir, which is during Black History Month in February. So when Montreal was coming along, we were like, what do? We still wanted to have a presence. We didn't want to have nothing go on. So that's when we pivoted to online.
The Ottawa Film Festival started during the pandemic and as a result had to face a number of unique challenges. The festival is entirely online across Canada and around the world.
So it was a matter of really finding a reliable online platform. Mm-hmm. So we researched a little bit of the different platforms. How would we do it? Would we do it live on Zoom? Would we do it pre-recorded? We decided to do it pre-recorded because the pre-recorded aspect, I find, gives us a chance to, if there are any errors or if the sound is not correct, as you know, virtual, all kinds of stuff can happen. Mm-hmm. It shuts down, the sound goes out, sound comes back. People are all fragmented. So it gave us the opportunity to edit and then package the videos and then air them on Facebook. So That's kind of what we did. And the fact that we were online at the beginning of the pandemic and we just kept online with our following festivals, we realized that the reach was far greater being online than only in person like we had been. Right, so now we're really reaching across all of Canada, the world, with our films, with our festivals.
Okay, so anyone outside of Canada can access the network as well?
They can. We do sometimes have they're called the geolocalization, which means like it's location.
Yeah.
Yes. So some of those films are only people only from Canada or Ottawa. I would say Canada can have access, but then we have a lot of other films where it's worldwide. So It really depends on the producer, the filmmaker, the distributor, how they want to categorize their film.
The first festival started in 2005 through a nonprofit organization named after its founder.
It's the Fabienne Collat Foundation.
Okay, and who's Fabienne Collat?
You don't know who Fabienne Collat is? So
maybe I do, but I just want you to tell me.
Oh my goodness! So, how to describe Fabienne Collat is a visionary, an entrepreneur, fantastic entrepreneur, businesswoman, artist. She was a professional actress in Haiti and model. She was very well known in Haiti for her films. And when she arrived to Montreal, she really wanted to break into the industry. She found that there were no places for her. She was denied access to a lot of, opportunities, castings. She didn't fit the mold at the time. Mm-hmm. And this is what propelled her to start. The first festival was the Haitian Film Festival, because she wanted to see representation on the big screen. So it started off as a very small festival. She's a visionary, like I said. Who knew it would grow into this empire that we're all working for right now? Mm-hmm. Fabienne is an advocate for the cause of elevating, supporting, mentoring Black artists in this industry and other industries as well. So she's extremely busy lady. Her work ethic is crazy. So yeah, she's definitely somebody who I admire, who I believe the whole team admires as well. And she's very passionate and she gives a lot of herself.
The Fabien Collet Foundation created the Being Black in Canada program, Canada's largest incubator dedicated to Black filmmakers.
It transformed. So the Haitian Black Film Festival transformed into the Montreal International Black Film Festival, and last year was our 17th edition. Mm-hmm. So out of that came Toronto was second, then Halifax was third, and then so on and so on. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But, let me just say that having lived in Montreal, I know what it's like. Having lived here in Toronto and both in Montreal, it's kind of closed off from the rest of Canada in a way.
You know, Montreal, because of the language, mm-hmm. kind of separates us a bit from the rest of Canada, even though a lot of us are not okay with that. Mm-hmm. I agree with preserving I'm half French. My mother's, French. Mm-hmm. My father's from the Caribbean, mm-hmm. born here, grew up speaking completely bilingual, grew up speaking French. One of the first Black families to establish themselves in Montreal. So I understand the need to, we understand the need to preserve the French language, but not at the cost of alienating ourselves with the mm-hmm. rest of Canada, So that's why our festivals Montreal is a bilingual festival. And then we have all of our English festivals. We also have French festivals within Quebec as well. So we're really trying to, the important thing for us is create platforms across the board for the industry artists. Black artists already, whether you're, already have the challenge of getting their work, first of all, done, created. Finding support funding is another obstacle. Mm-hmm. Then once everything is ready and funded, well, where do they show their film? So there's a lot of challenges and obstacles already, not to get the whole language involved as well. So we try to really create a platform that can serve all of those creative voices, French and English. Mm-hmm. So the Haitian Black Film Festival transformed into the Montreal International Black Film Festival, and last year was our 17th edition. Mm-hmm. So out of that came Toronto was second, then Halifax was third, and then so on and so on. Some of us are based in Montreal. Some of my team is in Toronto. I have some other members that are even in Mexico.
Okay. What was that like for last year?
So last year, because of the situation of the pandemic, everything is online. Yeah. This year, once again, we wanted to come maybe in a hybrid edition, but because the restrictions came back into play when we all started preparing for Ottawa, we decided to, be safe and do it online as well. So last year was online. Mm-hmm. It was great. We had some wonderful help on the ground. A lovely lady named Sarah Onyango. You must know Sarah. She's a host on a radio show. She's very known in the Ottawa community, Black community. She was able to put us in touch with a lot of people in the community who I could reach out to come and talk on our panel discussions. Last year, we had an industry discussion, and we also had some social discussions on mental health, business. We had one for artists, filmmakers in Ottawa as well, local. So it was a nice addition. The number of films we had last year, I believe we had 30 films for last year for Ottawa. And so yeah, it was really great connecting with the Ottawa Black community, the Ottawa industry, film and television industry community as well. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people were really happy, excited that we were coming. And this year we were getting a really great response once again. So we're really happy. Yes.
Feel about you being based in Montreal with the festival being named the Ottawa Black Film Festival?
Well, like with all our festivals, our main base is here, but we do have presence in all our cities, where we have the festival. So Ottawa, next year we'll be there in person. we actually have someone on my team works in outreach. She's from Gatineau, so she lives right across the water. Montreal and Ottawa are so close. There's 2 hours away driving. And I think from what I've been hearing from creatives and film and TV creatives and artists in Ottawa, is there's a lack of places to meet talented creatives, from the Black community. Where I want to have a casting with Black actors, where do I go? Where do I find them? Where are they? When I was researching for my panel discussions, which we're having this year as well, I had a hard time knowing where to look. So I'm really thankful for Facebook groups like Black Ottawa Connect, Black Toronto, Montreal. There's also a Black Montreal. And on these online platforms, there's all kinds of people from the community that discuss all kinds of different issues. And I was able to request people to come forward to partake in the Ottawa Black Film Festival last year. And I had a great filmmaker, Patrick Kayeba, who had a film in our festival, and his film was in many of our other festivals. He had interviews in Ottawa. We were really able to push him and to give him this visibility that I don't think he had and was lacking. So I think our presence in Ottawa is really important, and it's just going to continue to grow. Where, next year we'll have our red carpet opening with our cocktail and VIPs and opening film, invited filmmakers. So we're excited. I would really, I think next year is going to change a little bit because we'll be there in person. But this year, as I mentioned, we were able to connect with some really great people again this year. And so this year's festival includes 4 panel discussions with local members of the Black community, artists, business owners. So I think people are going to be quite pleased.
So for each festival, it's the community art and creativity that you're trying to explore and expose.
So yes, so definitely I want to bring, we want to bring opportunities for the industry, people from the television, film industry, especially. We want to, talk about topics that affect them. Our discussions include solution-based, sometimes topics, topics that maybe also look at the community. So we always like to have a mixture of industry and community. That way there's a little bit of for everyone, and everyone is part of the Black community, so it affects all of us. Yeah, so, and I think it's a great platform to have these discussions and to get people involved and people to listen. Last year we had a wonderful panel on mental health, which was really, mental health in the Black community was still seen a little bit as taboo. Our cultures, we don't really like to talk about it too much. So that was brought to light, and ways to help people cope and where they can get help and support groups. So we really want to bring something more than, of course we're film industry, but also something to help support the community as well.
There was a festival is a festival in Brazil, and
so yes,
festivals around the world.
So that was the Salvador Black Film Festival. That was before I came on board. Okay. We did plan one edition only. We plan to get that one up and running again in the near future. So definitely we have a beautiful program. I don't know if you've heard of Being Black in Canada, which is the largest mentorship and training program for emerging Black artists from 18 to 30. And we have a beautiful person from Brazil named Aline, who's in Brazil, and she sort of heads Being Black in Canada. So once the pandemic ends and we're getting back to normal, we'll definitely reestablish that festival in Brazil. And I hope to be able to go. We're looking at maybe presenting 44 films this year. Alone is the opening film. It's with by director Paul Tom. And it's Scared for Their Lives, Action, Ale, and Patricia. They leave their home countries as unaccompanied minors. And it's a story about leaving everything behind to reinvent yourself in another country. So it's a little bit of a it's documentary style as well. And it's true. It's a true story. So it's really like, how can a child manage to reinvent himself in a new country after having left everything behind? And the closing film, Vutat and Kuvut, which means tug of war. I haven't actually seen the film, so I'm looking forward to it. So it's a coming-of-age political story set in the final years of the British colonial Zanzibar. So it's about a young freedom fighter who meets a Zanzibari woman in the middle of the night as she is on her way to be married. So it's a little bit of a love story, I think. Highlights include also the Being Black in Canada short series. So those are the films that our young filmmakers from 18 to 30 will be showing their films as well in the festival. There's the Black Market panel discussion. So we have some really great panel discussions as well. We have one called Embracing the Skin We Are In. We have another one called Safe Spaces, creating safe spaces and the importance of having those safe spaces for the Black community. We also have some industry discussions. So it's not a huge festival this year, but we're definitely is a quality festival with some beautiful films. So I really, please buy your all access passes and I'm sure you'll enjoy. Films are available the duration of the festival. So from the 24th to the 27th. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing those as well. So we have a lot of films. I try to see as many as I can, and it's kind of nice that we have so many festivals. So if there's films that I haven't had a chance to see in one festival, I definitely can sometimes see them in another festival. So
yeah,
if you go to the website, you can definitely get more details on all our films and our discussion.
Well, thank you so much again.
Oh, you're very welcome, Cherryl. It was a pleasure.